Shout out to SBM and Ashmo. Thanks so much for subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for regular uploads and your chance to be included in shoutouts for future videos. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, a couple of new things, which is great. We'll be using, you've seen me use the other ones like this, that I have, the soap molds, the logs, and I did a post last week, as you know, regarding this, or earlier in the week I should say. It's got his own logo on it, which is great. So Chatty, thank you very much for yet another beautiful mold. So I'll be using this today, which is great. So today I will be making coffee soap for a private label, and that's what's in here. I've got the coffee fragrance oil at 4%. I got this fragrance oil from Aussie Candle Suppliers. Apparently, from what I was reading from the reviews, that it doesn't trace fast, it behaves, and it also has great scent retention. So in there's 4% of the fresh coffee fragrance, as it's called, and some natural vitamin E in there, which is standard upon every recipe I make. And here is the olive oil, and because this is private label, so I'm not restricted as to I just do whatever they want me to do, or I don't do many private labels, but this one doesn't have Australian extra virgin olive oil like I normally use in Dawn Organic soaps. This has Spanish extra virgin olive oil, which is still great quality. And the reason why this has the Spanish extra virgin olive oil instead of the Australian olive oil is to keep the cost down. And because, of course, like I said, it is for a private label, so it depends on the price that they're happy with. So it's 35% Spanish extra virgin olive oil, 30% organic coconut oil, and for the first time ever, 35% certified palm oil. And I've never ever used palm oil before, so this will be the very first time using palm oil. I got it from, as you can see, from Alien Body Care. Great price. This is a 4 kilo tub. I think it was $23.80, I believe, or $24.80. I'm pretty sure $23.80 if my memory serves me correctly. The 15 kilo tub is, I believe, $57, which is really great. And the reason, again, why I'm using palm oil, to keep the cost down, palm oil is very affordable. It's very inexpensive compared to olive and coconut, and of course shea butter. So I didn't want to put shea butter in this recipe because it will most definitely increase the price. And it is a local cafe in a very mixed demographic area where I live. So I don't expect people at the cafe to pay upwards of $8, $10 a bar. So we want to keep it around the $6-7 mark. And they don't really, because you've got to know your audience. So I know my audience in this area, they'll spend a little bit or so, but not a huge amount. If they were to go on my website, it's a different story. But of course, a cafe, people go get their morning coffee. It's really busy in the mornings, and people might see $5-6 soap, and they'll pick it up, but they won't pick up an $8 or a $10 soap. So that's the reason why we're going with Australian extra virgin and certified palm oil. So I don't use palm oil in my range. This is certified RSPO Roundtable palm oil. For private labels, I'm open, of course, as you see now, to using palm oil and fragrance oils as well, and micas, which I, of course, those three things I don't use in Dawn Organics range. But considering everything right now has really gone up in price, and actually for the private label soaps at the cafe, I used to actually use Australian extra virgin olive oil, but prices have just soared. So I've had to use, just Spanish extra virgin, which is still fantastic. And this is actually real extra virgin. And this is, and I'll be up front about where I get this particular one from. I get this from Aldi, the Romano brand from Aldi, the 3.78 litre. Oh, actually, I'll just show you. Silly me. I've got everything underneath my table here, so there we go. Okay, and I've tested this olive oil. I have put this olive oil in, what I usually do to test if olive oil is real, I put it in the freezer for about maybe 2 hours, and then I put it in the fridge and leave for about 3 days. And if it still stays hard when you put it in the fridge after 2 or 3 days, that's when you know it's actually real extra virgin olive oil, or just real olive oil in general, because fake, well actually I can't say all olive oil, because refined olive oil doesn't go hard because it's got all the extra stuff filtered out, all the extra goodness. But I know for extra virgin, whether Australian, Spanish, Italian, whatever you want to call it, or wherever you source it from, it will solidify at really low temperatures, just like how coconut oil and palm oil does. I've actually walked into Aldi before in the middle of winter, and it was so cold in there. It was, I think, 0 degrees, 1 degrees, and it was so cold that, not these ones, because the plastic because it's a plastic bottle, it kind of keeps it well protected from the cold. But the glass bottles, the Just Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil Aldi is really great quality, because they're glass and they soaked up the temperature as well. The olive oil in the glass bottles was actually hard, and I picked it up. I'm like, oh wow, I realized that it was completely solidified. So that's a really good test to see, especially if it's 0 degrees and under, it should solidify. And if it doesn't, that's when it's mixed with either sunflower, corn, cottonseed. They kind of mix it with all different olive oils, because by law they only have to put 51% in the container by volume, extra virgin, and the rest they can put whatever they want in it. So really important to test your olive oil, especially when you're paying for extra virgin. And if it says it's extra virgin, of course by moral standards, it should be 100% extra virgin. So that's a really good test. And I know this one, Romano, and the Just Organic at Aldi, really fantastic. Oh, sorry, I forgot. And the olive tree. So let me just grab the olive tree. So these are really, really fantastic olive oil. This is the Australian extra virgin. For a few batches ahead, I'll be using this, because I've had issues contacting that farm I mentioned previously, and I'm still waiting for them to actually ship me my olive oil, and I couldn't wait, so I went out and bought this. And this olive oil is really great quality. This is the real olive oil, real deal, real stuff as well, just like the Romano. Of course, just the cost difference. So this is $26 for 3 litres. That's $26.99 or $27 for 3.78 litres. But both fantastic. Both fantastic. I've tested both. I've tested the Just Organic olive oil as well from Aldi, and they all solidify at really cold temperatures. And they have the triangle on it, which is the, I don't know if you can see, that's certified by Australian. Let's see what it says, Australian certified extra virgin. So the triangle is really good. When it has that, it's when they test it. They do random test batches to see if they are really extra virgin, and this one has always passed, and this one also has always passed, and the Just Organic have always passed. And this is the Olive Oil Association here as well, Australian, and Aldi olive oil extra virgin have always ranked very highly, and yeah, I highly suggest you use those. If not, find a local farm. Windy Willow, like I mentioned last week or last video, how I'll be sourcing my olive oil from him. I know he's got huge contractual agreements So I know he's very, very busy. So it's not me saying anything negative about Windy Willow Farms at all. It's just they just haven't kind of gone back to me, which is fine. I get it, but I can't wait. I couldn't wait. Run business. I want to make. I need to make a high volume of soaps. So this is my second backup go-to, and it's always good to have a backup of olive oil, just to avoid a situation like this. So I ran out to Aldi and bought, I think like 10 containers worth, plus 6 containers of the Romano as well, just to have enough so I don't run out and I'm not running around like a headless chook. So I just thought I'll just go over olive oil and how you can test whether it is authentic or not. And I'm not going to name brands that are very inauthentic and very highly immoral, but we'll just keep that to ourselves. Right, so I won't be covering it. As you know, I always leave my soaps uncovered. So I'll put that over to the side if I can find room. So, waiting for that to melt. Waiting for the lye water to cool down. Lye water is 58, still needs to come down by 20 degrees. Right, so what's going on here? Well, as you know, sodium lactate as normal, 1.2%, 3% white Australian clay. I can't remember what percentage it was. I'm pretty sure it was 1.5%, of the coffee grounds, and that's actually from my local cafe as well. And 4% coffee fragrance oil, natural vitamin E, as you know, I already said. So once this is melted, I will add the olive oil, add the clay and the coffee grinds, and blend it in very well, and then add the lye, blend it in, make sure it's all well incorporated, reach trace, and then pour into that beautiful mould. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how palm oil will turn out. I'm not too sure. I mean, I hope it doesn't get too hard, because I know palm oil creates a very hard soap. So I'm not sure if the sodium lactate and the salt's going to be an issue, but again, I like to live on the edge. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, that's okay. Part of the learning experience. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on here. It's a quiet afternoon and just enjoying some experimenting, which I like to do with soap. Yeah, so definitely looking forward to seeing how palm oil behaves. Right, so just to cover a couple of reasons why palm oil is used, and I thought I'll cover this topic. Well, 2 major reasons why palm oil is used with soap makers, and whether it's locally here in Australia or around the globe, but it seems to be a common soap butter, or hard oil I should say, that is used in soap. One is cost. Palm oil is really, really inexpensive, readily available in most countries, and creates a really long-lasting bar. So, as you know, in my range, I don't use palm oil, and that's just because, just a personal preference. It doesn't mean I won't use palm oil on myself, like if someone gives me soap, or if I want to try someone else's soap. I am not like, oh no, I won't try that. I most definitely will try that. But it's just my vision for Dawn Organics just included going palm free. But I have nothing against, other soap makers, using palm oil. It creates a really, really long-lasting bar, even with a high olive oil content. You can increase your longevity by obviously adding salt and sodium lactate, and reducing the water in your recipe, so it actually cures a lot quicker and becomes harder, and it's ready at the 4-week mark. Otherwise, generally you have to go up to 6 weeks cure time with 50% or more olive oil in your recipe, but reducing the water at least from 38% to 28% water to oil ratio is the way to go with high olive oil content. But as you know, palm oil creates a beautiful long-lasting bar, and I know this because I have used bars with palm oil, and one example is Keely from Soy and Shane. When she sent me that box full of soaps, I've unfortunately used them all up, but she makes beautiful soap and they really do last a while, and that's like a really big thanks to the palm oil. It creates a really hard bar, very long lasting. So I mean, it's completely up to you what you want to use and how you want to formulate recipes, but that's just, I'm just covering just quick about the reasons why people go with palm oil. And in this, this scenario right here, I'm doing a private label soap for my local cafe, and he wants to keep the price down, and so do I, because I know the demographic of the area, and I know at a cafe per se in this area, I don't expect people to pay upwards of $8 for a bar, or at least normal size bar, 100 to 110 grams. So I want to cut them about 130 grams, 2.4 centimeters. I can get 13 bars from this log, and yeah, so just about like how you want to price things. So that's why the Spanish extra virgin olive oil and the palm oil, to bring the cost down. Otherwise, the price will obviously go up. So I just thought I'd cover quickly like how the mindset behind formulating a recipe and why things are done certain ways, and yeah, I just thought I'll cover that and give some useful info. So I will be stepping away because I've got to wait for this to fully melt, and it shouldn't be too much longer. I'll wait for it to melt and then incorporate everything. And it's going to be a simple recipe. I'm not doing any colour sauce or anything like that. Just a coffee soap, coffee fragrance oil with coffee grinds. Yeah, so that's it. Pretty basic, straightforward recipe. But I'm just really looking forward to kind of like working with palm oil. And at 35%, I wonder how it's going to behave with tracing. And I did a 2% citric acid in my lye water as well, and I did the lye excess as well to cover that. So everything is turning out just as planned, and of course, as usual, recipe will be available in the description below, so go check it out, and I will see you when we begin to make the soap.